Welcome to our Jets Overtime Special presented by Atlantic Health System. As we look back at the 2022 season, Eric Allen alongside Quincy Enunwa. Coming up, we'll go one-on-one with Jets Pro Bowlers CJ Mosley and Sauce Gardner. We'll hand out some awards, and Quincy is going to deliver his Telestration like none other. But let's start here, Quincy. What would you say about the Jets season? How would you describe it? I'm thinking about a roller coaster.
Yeah, I would definitely describe it as a roller coaster. There were so many ups and downs. Unfortunately, they went down, never were able to go back up. I think, obviously in a roller coaster, you want to end at the bottom, but in the NFL, you want to end at the top. You want to make it to the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. This team wasn't able to do that. They had so many positive moments during this season, but it just didn't finish the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, Q. This team started 5-2 overall.
Right.
They moved to 6-3, and after a win over the Bears, they were 7-4. But unfortunately, with the playoffs in sight, they just couldn't finish.
Yeah, and that Bears win, I think everybody thought this will be the change. They changed quarterbacks. They got a big win over that team, and we were like, okay, there's a possibility for this to really turn its head and go the way that everybody wanted it to go. But just some things just weren't happening for this team. And you think about all the things they overcame in the beginning, all the injuries, all those different things. You would think on the back half of the season, with them being able to overcome them, that they would be able to finish strong, but it just didn't happen for this team.
The Jets defense went from last in the NFL in 2021 to top 5 in a number of categories. What were the keys to that turnaround?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the anchors they had at all 3 levels. They had an anchor at the D-line, Quentin Williams, a beast. They had an anchor at linebacker with CJ Mosley. They had an anchor at the DB level with Sauce and DJ Reed. I mean, those guys all came to work every week. They were prepared. They made sure that they showed the team how exactly it was to play championship football.
Quarterback instability plagued the offense. The Jets started 3 different quarterbacks in all. They played 4. Also up front, Q, 9 different offensive line combinations.
Yeah, and that's so challenging. It's so hard in itself to play with multiple quarterbacks, but then also multiple O-linemen. I mean, the only real stability you had on offense was the receiver group. You had guys showing up to work and staying healthy, but everywhere else, it was just so challenging. You can't overcome playing 9 different offensive linemen. You had one guy playing 3 different spots. You had a quarterback that played in the beginning of the year, then he came back and played at the end of the year. I mean, it's just tough to overcome those things.
But the Jets certainly do have a few foundational pieces on offense that they can build around.
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely. Like I said, receiver, I mean, Garrett Wilson showed up to play every week. The guy was a constant. He always knew he was going to come and make some plays for this team. Running back, they had Breece Hall. Unfortunately, he was injured, but I think he's going to come back, and he's going to come back stronger. That guy's going to know that, okay, I'm able to play in this league. I'm able to do what I need to do. And, from there on, you're just going to see as well as AVT as well coming back from injury. So there's just so many anchored pieces on this offense.
We're off and running on our Jets Overtime Special presented by Atlantic Health System. Coming up, Caroline Hendershot will check in with Jets defensive signal caller CJ Mosley and rookie sensation Sauce Gardner.
The presenting sponsor is Atlantic Health System. February is National Heart Month, a time for everyone to focus on their cardiovascular health. Learn more at atlantichealth.org/heartcare.
Y'all understand the task at hand. I can't wait to be out on the field with y'all boys today.
Throws one over the middle. Intercepted on a dive by CJ Mosley. Mosley meets him and brings him down. Intercepted on the carry by Mosley.
CJ, looking back on this season, what do you think of your performance in particular?
I think it was pretty good. Just basing everything off last year. I came in this year, set out to grow more as a leader, grow more as a player in this defense on this team, and I feel like I accomplished those things this year. We put ourselves in a great position at the beginning of this year with our mindset, being able to play meaningful games in December and, in January. Unfortunately, our results didn't work out the right way, but, we proved to ourselves, we proved to the league, that we're capable of playing meaningful games winning big-time games, and now I think this is really a stepping point for us to really build off what we've done this past year and the year before, and just keep getting better.
You mentioned how you proved a lot to the league, but what's that next step in finishing the season in the way that you guys would like to? Because you came that close, but you just didn't end up crossing the finish line.
The next step is getting in the playoffs, and that's what we play for, and that's what we set ourselves for up this year. And like I said, we didn't finish the way we wanted to, so we didn't get that ticket. But we saw the right ways to do it, and we saw when we was playing good ball, playing collectively, that we were a tough team to beat. So like I said, it's a lot of things that we can point at and look at, but I think nobody in our building should be hanging their heads down, because we put up a fight every single week. Nobody gave up, whether it was through injuries or things like that, or whatever happened throughout the season. Guys stayed focused, guys stayed locked in through the good times and through the bad. So that's all you can ask for.
This defense went from the bottom of the league to a top 5 defense. What do you credit that to?
I really just credit that to everybody coming back this past offseason ready to work. When we got together, it felt like we had just started from a whole different level from the 2021 season. Obviously being in the system for the second year, guys were more comfortable in the defense, understanding the lingo, understanding what offense we're going to try to do to attack our defense, and obviously with players that we drafted and players that came from free agency, everybody really just had a spectacular year.
As a leader and a captain for this squad, what are you most proud of as you look back at this year?
I would say our work ethic. Like I mentioned before, we got off on a slow start, and then we started really rolling and coming together. And the nature of this game is people are going to get hurt. There's going to be injuries. And even though that happened on both sides of the ball, nobody really made an excuse about it. We kept working. When we had our winning streak, we had the same work ethic as when, unfortunately, we had these last 6 losses. So if you look at the tape and you throw the record out, I would say every single game that we played, we gave it our all. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for.
The Jets announced 7 team award winners in all. But Quincy, it is time for us to hand out some hardware. Let's start with the most under-the-radar Jet.
Yeah, it's going to have to be DJ Reed for me. You talk about a guy that's lined up across from Sauce Gardner, a guy that sometimes was never targeted. Now you go into the game and they're going to make sure that they target my size. This guy not only did it well in the pass game, but he also did it well in the run game. He wasn't afraid to put his nose in the run. He made some big hits. For a guy that's a little bit undersized for today's corners, the guy was a talented corner.
Great transition from coast to coast for DJ Reed. For my money, I think he should have been a Pro Bowl player this year, but that's going to happen next year. How about most versatile Jet?
Yeah, most versatile has to go to Elijah Vera-Tucker. You talk about a guy that's multifaceted, a guy that can go in and do anything for you. We had a few guys when I was playing that were like that. And one thing about those guys, they got to have so much acumen. They have to know everything about the game, because you're not just playing on one side, you're playing on the other side, you're playing against multiple people, and you got to be able to communicate to everybody too. On the O-line, communication is important. This guy was able to do that.
Elijah Vera-Tucker, just amazing, making the transition from left guard as a rookie to right guard. Then in week 4, he's starting at left tackle. The final 3 games, he starts at right tackle. How about the Jets' best win in 2022?
Yeah, when you look at the totality of this season, it has to go to the Buffalo Bills, right? You talk about a team that they won against the Chiefs. It was a hard-fought game. They come in here knowing that the Jets just got beat by the Patriots, so thinking, okay, this is an easy win for us. And the Jets come in and they put a fight in, right? In the first half, you thought, okay, the Buffalo Bills might go ahead and take this one away. Second half, you talk about a team that finished. That was the Jets in that game.
5 sacks and 2 interceptions of Josh Allen, and that final drive was a thing of beauty. They ran it down the Bills' throat. How about the play of the Jets season, or should we say plays?
Yeah, so this is the most improbable play. You rarely ever going to see it, but it has to go to the onside kick recovery. I mean, that set up the win for the Jets against the Browns. Kind of a testament to the whole season, right? You talk about wanting to finish. That was it right there. Finishing that game was so well for this team, and I think those guys were so proud of that play.
All right, just think about what happened there. 30-17, Jets are down. Browns missing an extra point. There's a touchdown pass from Joe Flacco to Corey Davis. Justin Hardy, a Cleveland native, recovers the onside kick right here from Braden Mann, and that sets up the game winner. Garrett Wilson, who played collegiately at Ohio State, likes that Ohio air, and he comes up with a touchdown reception, and the Jets an improbable victory. You're not going to see one like that for a long time. Mark this date on your calendars, February 9th. NFL honors the Jets' impressive rookies Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner up for Rookie of the Year awards, and the Jets could get 2 into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Joe Klecko and Darrelle Revis. Coming up, Caroline Hendershot will go one-on-one with the man they call Sauce.
This segment is brought to you by MetLife, the official insurance company of the New York Jets.
3 individual goals. One of them checked that box.
Pro Bowl, like, oh, pro, everybody can't make that. But when I really sat and just thought about it, I'm like, bro, that's big.
It's broken up by Sauce Gardner. And knocked it away. Incomplete. Sauce Gardner. Perfect position and coverage to defend that pass. It's intercepted. Picked off by Sauce Gardner. Interception number 1 as a New York Jet. A rookie sprinting down to the end zone to celebrate.
Sauce, as you reflect on your rookie season with the Jets, what does it mean to you?
Just want to say thank you to the Jets organization, for taking the chance and drafting me. I can honestly say this is where I wanted to be. And I feel like I lived up to the expectations. But I played good football, don't get me wrong, but I know I have greatness in me. So it's a lot of things I could have did better, for sure.
What are you most proud of when you think about the entire season as a whole?
Man, just being able to build a strong brotherhood with my teammates. I know it's gonna last a lifetime. That's the main thing. I knew I wanted to, like I said, I knew I wanted to be here. I didn't know what teammates I was gonna have, but I feel like I'm around the right group of guys.
Now, I know this team didn't finish the season the way they wanted to, but what is that next step, maybe from a defensive perspective or just in general, to make the playoffs next year and to take that next leap?
Defense, we're going to have to get more takeaways. Before the bye week, we had a lot. And after the bye week, we didn't have as many. So that's going to be one of the main things, We want to be able to win a game by ourselves. Let the offense just be able to chill. We want to be able to, take a game over and score on the defensive side.
I know you weren't here in the past when this team didn't have any Pro Bowlers, but now this team has 4. What does it say about the future of this organization, and how excited are you to cross Pro Bowler off your list?
We just say we just growing. We're going to keep training. We're going to keep ascending, getting better and better. It's a blessing to be able to be a Pro Bowler starter as a rookie. That was one of my goals. So to be able to cross that off my list, it's a true blessing.
Give the Jets a grade of A for the 2022 draft class. They dominated the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week throughout the 2022 campaign. Quincy, let's get to the Telestration right now. It's easy to see why GM Joe Douglas traded up in the second round in order to get Breece Hall. Hall averaged 5.8 yards a touch in 7 games this season.
Yeah, and we talk about his ball carrying all the time, but on this play, I really want to highlight what he does in the route. So on this play, you're going to have this motion. Most times you're going to have a motion to find out, okay, is it man or zone? So we have a drive here, basic. These are all normal routes. Then you have a corner here, and you have the angle right here. It's a one-on-one route for Breece Hall. So we're going to watch him run this route here. Here goes the motion. They see Eli Apple following, so it's a man play. And here goes Breece.
Yep.
Whoo! Look at him, man. Let me highlight him for you guys real quick. Right here, we got Breece Hall lined up in the backfield, and he knows, okay, it's man. I got one-on-one, and I got to know I got to beat my man right here for Joe Flacco. Breece Hall runs his route right here. That's what you want to see. This guy ran the route like a receiver, and that's what you want from your running back, a guy that can go out there. He can be third down. He can be first down, second down. You can just put him anywhere.
Garrett Wilson drafted number 10 overall out of Ohio State. He got 1,100 yards receiving in year 1 despite playing with 3 different starting quarterbacks. Guy was making plays throughout the season, including the final game in Miami. When on the field with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I'd make the argument that he was the best player as far as the wide receivers.
Definitely. The guy had a great game, a hell of a season. On this play here, you're going to have another motion. Again, the Jets love to run these motions just to kind of see man or zone. On this play, you see that it's a zone play. Nobody follows Eli right here. So now you got a zone route. You know, as a receiver, I got to get past my man, and the ball should be out right behind him. So he's going to run this short post right here and get hit right when he needs to. Open spot. And you see everybody around him. He knows there's guys around him. He still catches the ball with his hands and then watch the play after. I mean, you don't even need to talk about this. You just watch it. Magical. The guy knows how to make plays for this team.
All right, he set the rookie record for the Jets in terms of receptions, receiving yards. But let's not forget the final first-round pick, Jermaine Johnson. Man, he's got high energy and tremendous athleticism, showcasing both of those skills against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and one thing I want to talk about here is that he has a receiver lined up on him right here. This guy's supposed to block him down. So the goal is to keep him down so that I can run my route here. But Jermaine Johnson is a strong guy. This guy doesn't care who's in front of him. He's going to make the play that he needs to make. Doesn't get washed down, because it's easy to get washed down on this play. Sees Josh Allen and chases him. Look at the chase. That's not an easy guy to bring down. He brings him down quickly, too. Great play by Jermaine.
Yeah, typically you see Josh Allen win that, and he'll get a first down and move up the sideline.
He even scored on this play, too. Early in the game.
A great lateral ability for Jermaine Johnson. He's got a bright future. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll take a look at the 4 Jets who are representing the team this weekend in Las Vegas at the Pro Bowl. There's nothing like Jets game day at MetLife Stadium. Lock in your 2023 season tickets to catch every big moment next season and secure the best seats, lowest prices, and most exclusive benefits. Visit nyjets.com/season tickets to learn more. It happens here. Welcome back to our Jets Overtime Special. We are presented by Atlantic Health System. We're recapping the 2022 New York Jets season. The Jets hosted the Detroit Lions at MetLife Stadium on December 18th, and more than 75,000 fans watched the thriller, including a pair of special teammates, Joel Sanchez, a U.S. Army veteran and volunteer firefighter, and Dr. Benjamin Van Boxtel, the surgical director of the Atlantic Aortic Center. Even though the Jets lost the game, the unlikely pair had plenty to celebrate after joining forces for a medical audible. Just 3 months earlier, Dr. Van Boxtel performed the first Ross procedure ever done at Morristown Medical Center and successfully treated Joel's heart. Atlantic Health System's Morristown Medical Center is a national leader in heart care. Their expert cardiology team treats everything from simple heart conditions to the most complex, including Joel's aortic valve replacement. We hope Joel is fighting fires in no time. Learn more at atlantichealth.org/heartcare. We're thankful to Joel Sanchez for sharing his story, and Jets fans are thankful for the team's 4 Pro Bowl selections. Rookie cornerback Sauce Gardner, team captain and core special teamer Justin Hardy, team captain and linebacker CJ Mosley, and defensive lineman Quinton Williams were all selected to the Pro Bowl games in Las Vegas, marking the highest number of Pro Bowl selections for the green and white since 2015. It's the 10th time the Jets have at least 4 Pro Bowlers. Mosley, a tackling machine, got the Pro Bowl nod a 5th time as the Jets had their most defensive players voted to the NFL's All-Star team since 1985. Hardy, who went undrafted out of Illinois in 2017, hit a career-high 14 tackles on teams. The 4 Jets were scheduled to participate in the Pro Bowl games during the week in Las Vegas, and Mosley, Gardner, and Hardy were picked to play in the flag football game on Sunday. That's all we have time for tonight, but we're going to be with you throughout the offseason. In fact, February 18th, make sure you tune in to a special installment of 1JD Films.